folks, this is Bob from BBD. This is 4th of October. It's my son's birthday and he's been home after probably the first time we're celebrating after 4 years together. He's been in the United States for all that time. But now let's get to the cut the chase and get to the news that's really been hurting a lot of us, right-thinking human beings, right? It's this despicable event that happened in Hathras. It's a despicable way that the government of the Uttar Pradesh handled it. It's absolutely abhorrent what's happening there. The fact, I mean, all of the brownie points that all the governments are trying to earn or own are just irrelevant. This is a gut-wrenching, it's a hit to the solar plex, to any right-thinking Indian. We should forget about trying to take our civilization to the Vedic periods. First, we have to deal with this. I mean, it's okay, Prachin India, Vedic India, but what relevance does any of that have if this continues at the same time? People have this escape clause. No, Vedas was different, we were a different civilization. But how do we explain what's happening here? What we call as Tavleen Singh, Hathras is a mirror. It's a horror, right? What she says is, if you live in India, you learn to accept a degree of casual cruelty as normal. You learn to accept that just below the fragile surface of modernity lies brutality that is medieval. That is medieval. Beyond our cities, even in our cities, that is so sad. And we want to go to the Vedic period, the Prachin period, and all that stuff that goes with it, and try and build a excuse for what's happening here. Okay. And then what it says is, last week, within hours of the 19-year-old woman's death, 2 other Dalit girls were killed in Uttar Pradesh. An 11-year-old was beaten to death in Bhadoi, and a young woman was abducted and allegedly raped in Balrampur. Okay. Then we see, and this is hard-hitting what T.K. Arun writes. He says, caste remains the most vicious form of institutional inequality. It has theological sanctions. Theological. He's not explaining it. It means our religion sanctions it. And we belong to that great religion. A moral explanation in terms of the present plight of the lowborn being the result of the sins of past birth. Then he says, yet it would be naive to expect mere change in material life to erode caste. A cornerstone of caste is control of female sexuality. If women are free to choose their life partners while working in towns and interacting with people of different backgrounds, there is no guarantee that they would choose only partners from their own caste. Autonomous women are a threat to caste. Hear this loud and clear, including some ministers who shouted and screamed when Nirbhaya happened are absolutely silent now. Duplicitous, absolute duplicitous and hypocritical behavior from the women of the BJP. It's sad. It is really sad. Then this is something that hit me really hard. Being a Dalit woman in modern India, written by Namita Bhandare. It says, but the reality of living as a Dalit woman in India hasn't changed. Tucked inside the newspapers, if at all, it filters through stories of everyday routine indignities. Somewhere a sarpanch is denied a chair on the podium during a Republic Day function. A bride's palanquin takes the long route home so as not to pollute the roads the dominant caste tread on. Shopkeepers fling purchase made by Dalit customers. Temples and common water sources are barred. Just another day in the life of a Dalit. To say, don't make this about caste is ignorance and privilege. Of course it is about caste. Then you have this, MP woman dies by suicide. Kin alleges police inaction on rape complaint. So Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. And the Congress, I mean, I can't believe where they come from. Unbelievable. Rajasthan is the second most state where the second most indignities happen against Dalits. And they have the right. And both of these guys are sitting down and dharna against Uttar Pradesh. First, at least sort out your own bloody state. And then you have, boy gives cops the slip, says Hathras family held captive. This is what Hathras sunk to. The SDM, the DM, the General Police, all high caste. And this is what we get, right? And somebody says, for Dalits, a critical juncture. Hathras will shape Dalit discourse. Whether it affects their political choices is to be seen. And here I'd say, people like Mayawati, people like Athwale, having reached whatever reach, have sold their souls. And this is a tragic DNA. And it's actually a tragic DNA also amongst a lot of people, the blacks in the United States. Once the leadership reaches a particular spot, right, they just forget what they left behind. It's a challenge that all of us have to take. Right-thinking men and women of this country, you cannot live in the past of Prachin India and the glory of Prachin India if this Manusmriti continues to haunt us. More after the break.
Welcome to the new trend of 2020. These music glass covers are incredibly stylish and customizable. You can pick any song and cover image and we will curate a piece especially for you. They help make any empty space look beautiful and also make for amazing gift items for your friends and family. Visit our Instagram page to find out more and to order your own music glass covers now. We look forward to hearing from you installing your favorite song in time and in a frame.
Welcome back. Let's talk a little bit of geopolitical issues. Important announcement by the United States. It says Arunachal is Indian territory, reiterates the US. India should ride on the tailwinds India has. It's important. A big thing, remember I had said, Myanmar in my Vichy was turning from red to blue. Here's an important note that's written by Rajiv Bhalla, who is a former ambassador to Myanmar. He says, betting on consolidation, Shringla leads a power-packed Indian delegation to Myanmar, including the chief. Myanmar is ready to be pried out away from China. This is the right moment. We need momentum. We need to do two things. One, we've got to put full press to ensure that our projects are finished on time. The other, we've got to put our entire weight to build and get Myanmar out of the hole that it's in after the Rohingya issue. Rohingya issue is there, but nothing we can do about it. So is the Muslim issue all over the world. But do not throw Asa, Suchi and Myanmar under the bus. Strategically, incredibly dangerous for not only India, but also for the rest of the world. Then we have another note. Gilgit Baltistan, a hostile opposition makes Imran's job difficult. Well, they're trying to make that obviously into a province, in a full province, but we need to light a fire in Gilgit and Baltistan. We got to forget about being a, what do they call us? A peace-loving nation. Where the hell is peace-loving nation? There is no peace, right? Where is the peace? There is no peace internally. We keep beating up our own people. Let's for once beat up Pakistan and get Gilgit and Baltistan. That should be our goal. If China messes up around with us on where it's doing in Ladakh, we should hammer Gilgit and Baltistan. Another important note, Rajat Pandit, another important messaging. Amid LAC face-off, US military aircraft refuel at Port Blair. Follows naval exercises in Indian Ocean. Important messaging. Obviously, under the radar, India continues to accelerate its relationship with the United States. But this needs to be a lot more open and brought out. Amongst that, we had China's envoy's olive branch. Let's be calm and rational. She needs to be calm and rational. Let's tell the Sun Wong, Ding Dong, whatever his name is, that his useless olive branch to us makes absolutely no sense. And lesser sense than anything else. Hindu Rusi bye bye 2020. Hindu Rusi bye bye 2020. Hindi Chini bye bye 1959. Just let's see what Russia is delivering to us, folks. Afghanistan. its interests are against us. Middle East, its interests are against us. United States, its interests are against us. Even supply of defense equipment, where Rajnath went scurrying to Russia. It was, in my opinion, the visuals said more than anything else. It was begging Russia to deliver things on time. Is that what a strategic partner does? Absolutely not. You gotta rethink Russia, man. You gotta rethink Russia. And then we go on to something that happens next, which is, obviously escaping everybody's mind. Two countries are on the verge of war and the US is MIA, missing in action. Armenia and Azerbaijan. A lot of stuff happening there, and we gotta be careful and watchful. What's the thing that's doing negative news for India? India charities battle for survival. We anyway don't have money in India, right? I think this is government's policy to just make sure the people who need money don't get any money, so they stay poor. If they stay poor, they continue to vote for the right. I mean, they're kept under control. Then you have Lebanon and Israel, officially enemies, agree to talk on sea borders. Absolutely new and phenomenal, right? You got lots of changes in the Middle East. Then it says, as war erupts in Caucasus, Erdogan is first into play. Erdogan, what does he have, man? He's destroying the Levant, destroying the Middle East, destroying Syria, not just going to destroy Azerbaijan and the Mediterranean. More after the break, folks.
We believe in natural herbs and homemade remedies because the body deserves only purity. Think of natural products. Think of Sada Jeevan.
Welcome back, folks. The last section, US elections. Obviously, there's a headline here which says, Trump's diagnosis reshapes elections. Of course it will. Same day as this was happening, Biden breaks fundraising record in September. It's the highest he took in about $325 million. Money is everything in the United States, right? The report given by the medical team of President Trump was anything but lucid, left more doubts than answered questions. It obviously seems that he's in worse shape that they are pretending it to be. Well, I guess this is territory that is dangerous. But what is important to note is a couple of items that I'd read earlier, which are important for all of you to note when we predict these elections. Because a lot of people in India are saying Trump. Maybe it's Trump, but you've got to remember this, right? On September 25th, you had retired generals, admirals endorse Biden in U.S. polls. 4-star officers who served under Trump also backed Democratic U.S. president candidate. This is important to note because the armed forces are generally known to vote Republican. This is a big change. Then the focus is, as this article written by Michael Scheer and Justin Dovey says, presidential race largely being fought where Trump won. This is where Biden is spending his money. Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Florida, right? And as we know, this had been written earlier, Trump's strategy of setting low bar for Biden may backfire in debate, and that's exactly what we did. Latest poll numbers suggest that even in Florida, now Biden has taken a lead by 5 points. Pennsylvania continues to be at 7 points. Together, as I had said earlier, if you look at Florida, you have 29 seats that had gone to Trump earlier, and when you look at Pennsylvania, 20. That's 49. If these two flip, add what he started with 227, you are looking at 49. You're looking at 266 already. Things are going to get tricky for Trump. Excuse my math, but there it is. You guys make the call.